everyone, I hope good things happen to you. I am back with another different podcast. In this podcast, we will talk about the history of the invention of electricity. Undoubtedly, many people do not have enough information about the invention of electricity. So, let's start without delay. The history of electricity and the future of electric power. Electrical energy has always been around us. But for most of human history, we haven't understood it or been able to control it. That all changed in the 18th and 19th century when a series of major discoveries led to the invention of the battery, the electric light bulb, and other technologies that we take for granted today. The 20th century also brought breakthroughs in the realm of electricity generation, with wind power, nuclear power, and tidal power all making their way onto the scene. Here is a brief history of electricity from the early experiments of the 18th century to more recent inventions like the solar panel and electric car. The early history of electricity. Although humans only learned how to generate electricity relatively recently, we've been aware of its existence in nature for quite some time. In ancient Egypt, electric fish were called the threnderer of the Nile, and they appear in the carvings dating from 2725 before Christ. The first attempt to use electrical energy may have been in medicine. Greeks, Romans, and Egyptians reportedly used electric fish as a treatment for epilepsy and gout. The next type of electricity to be discovered was static electricity, which is attributed to Thales of Miletus, a Greek philosopher. He saw that particles of dust could be made to cling to amber, the same way we might notice them stick to a balloon. Thales of Miletus didn't get it exactly right. He thought it was caused by magnetism, but it's still one of the earliest observations of electricity in the ancient world. The term electricity don't exist at the time. In fact, it wasn't used until the early 1600s when it was coined from the Greek word of amber. An English scientist named William Gilbert came up with the word electricus to describe objects that attracted dust like amber, and this eventually led to the modern usage of the word electricity. After that came the Leyden jar, a device that can store an electrical charge and paved the way for laboratory experiments with electricity and magnetism. Famous names in the history of electricity. Some of the biggest milestones in the history of electricity occurred in the 18th and 19th century when individual scientists performed experiments that furthered our knowledge of electrical energy. These five figures are among the most well known in the field, and several of them even lend their name to scientific laws and units of measurement. Benjamin Franklin, 1706 1790. Benjamin Franklin might be best known as one of America's founding fathers, but he also played a major role in the history of electricity after the famous kite experiment of 1752, in which he reportedly flew a kite in a thunderstorm. He wrote that when the rain was wet, the kite entwined so that it can conduct electric fire freely. You will find it stream out plentifully from the key on the approach of your knuckle. This wasn't the first time anyone had identified the link between electricity and lightning, but he was the first to put the pieces together and explain how it worked. He used the knowledge to invent a lightning rod that could be used to protect tall buildings. Alessandro Volta, 1745-1827. Alessandro Volta was an Italian scientist who developed the first electric battery, known as the voltaic pile. His experiments confirmed that electricity wasn't solely produced by animals, such as the frogs that were commonly used in laboratories at the time, but could also be produced by chemical reactions and be made to travel in a circuit. Volta's discoveries led to rapid advances in the field of electricity, including the invention of the dynamo, an electrical generator that played a key role in the Industrial Revolution. Many years after the death, the volt, a unit of electrical energy, was named after him. Michael Faraday, 1791 1867. Michael Faraday may not be as famous as some of the other names in the history of electricity, but he is credited with developing the idea of the electromagnetic field. The Faraday cage, which can block electromagnetic energy, is named after him. He also identified the laws of electrolysis, which are still used today to determine how much energy has to pass through a substance in order to create a chemical change. Faraday spent most of his life in England, but his ideas traveled around the world, and he became an honorary member of the American Academy of Arts and Sciences. He also developed the first electric motor and developed it in 1821. Thomas Edison, 1847 1931. Thomas is widely credited as the inventor of the inaccidental light bulb, but the more accurate telling is that he improved on technology that already existed. Many of Edison's 1093 patents were the product of teamwork, with a large team of researchers working out of his laboratory in Menlo Park, New Jersey. Their research also played a key role in the development of sound recording and motion picture technology. One of his biggest achievements was opening the first power plant in New York City in 1882. The Pearl Street Station. He also installed the first electric street lights in Rosello, New Jersey, marking the beginning of the end of gas lighting in America's cities. Eventually, Edison's companies evolved into the General Electric brand, which is known for its washing machines, refrigerators, and electric bulbs. Nikola Tesla, 1856 1947. Nikola Tesla is often described as Edison's rival, and there's some truth to that idea. He was born in the Austrian Empire and worked at the French branch of Edison's company before moving to the US in 1884. After starting his own laboratory in New York City, he worked with George Westinghouse to develop an alternating current AC system that competed with Edison's direct current DC power system. This became known as the War of the Currents and led to electrical engineering feats such as powering Buffalo, New York with energy from Niagara Falls. Tesla also developed several different types of transformers, including the Tesla coil, a high voltage, low current transform that's often used for entertainment. The modern history of electricity. The War of the Currents was the beginning of the modern age of electricity, as new technologies were rolled out across America and around the world. In Wisconsin, a man named Henry Rogers became the first person to use hydropower to generate electricity in his home, while Werner von Siemens built the first electric streetcar in Germany in 1881. But the increased demand for electricity means a need for large scale power generation and high voltage transmission lines. Many early power plants used coal powered steam turbines to produce electricity, and coal remained the most common source of electric power in the US. For years, surpassed only by natural gas in 2015. The Rural Electrification Act of 1936. The next challenge was getting electricity into people's homes. In 1936, President Franklin D. Roosevelt signed the Rural Electrification Act, which helped to bring electric power to rural areas that were far from existing distribution networks. In addition to building transmission lines, terms of electricians went around to remote farms and houses to install electric wiring and fuse panels. Together, these contributed to the development of a national power grid, which is now broken down into the Westbound interconnection, Eastern interconnection, and Texas interconnection. The future of electricity. The history of electricity has gone through many phases over the past few centuries. So, what can we expect to come next? One clear trend is a decline in coal power. Per the International Energy Agency, global carbon emissions from the energy will peak in 2025 as the electrical grid shifts from fossil fuels to renewable energy resources. We may also see a trend towards more self reliance as a rolling blackouts and extreme weather events put a strain on regional power grids. This could take the form of home energy storage devices, electric car charging stations, and networked microgrids. The future of electricity may be unpredictable, but your electric bills don't have to be. Get a fixed energy rate with just energy and save money on your energy costs. Thank you so much for watching this far into the video. Remember to subscribe to the Mr. English channel and hit the bell icon to be notified when I post new videos.